Good morning, everyone. Finally, I'm here. It's been a crazy morning. But I'm so glad to be here today because I have designed a new kind of box. I actually designed it probably like over a year ago, and I never really did anything with it. I do a lot of experimentation, and sometimes the things that come from that experimentation I can't use right away. And so like I stick it on a shelf and it clutters things up, but I just kind of like put like a pause button on it, and then later on it just kind of somehow it just comes together in a project and just makes a lot of sense. My project today is an Oval Smoosh Box, and you probably looked at that title and went, what the heck is a smoosh box? And why would she even call it that? And I guess I was just trying to find a way to describe the box and make it sound different, because it is a little different than your typical box. And it's the way the two sides come together. So here is my little box. It looks kind of like an egg, right? And I love that it's got kind of smooth, rounded sides. It's really cool, but it's not made in your typical way with a whole bunch of tiny little tabs that go around the edge. That's not the way it's made. So when you open this up, you can see this is the inside of the box. The bottom is, or the top, the rim part is the shape of an oval, but the bottom is the shape of a rectangle. So, and that's what happens with both sides. The rim is an oval and the bottom is a rectangle. So you kind of smoosh the two together, and they fit somehow. It's kind of a weird way it fits, and it fits nice and snugly as well. So it's kind of like you're smooshing the two together. They don't fit 100% properly. I guess the best way you will see it, if you make a box, you will see the fit of the box. If you put one inside the other without putting the oval on, you'll be able to see better how it it doesn't seem like it's going to work, but it works. So this is kind of cool. I hope to be doing more smoosh boxes. This is the first size of smoosh box that I'm making, and I want to make a larger one and a smaller one in the oval shape, and maybe some other shapes as well. But this is the start of the smoosh box. So I thought that would be a different name, just to alert everyone to the fact that it's not just a regular type of box. So that's what I'm going to show you how to make today. I also wanted to show you we have new bundles that are available this month, the Hey Chick bundle and the Hey Birthday Chick bundle. You may remember Hey Chick, the stamp set from way back in a celebration a few years ago. If you already have that stamp set, great, you can continue to use it because it's current again. But we now have dies to match, and the dies are really fabulous. They're not just the dies that cut things out. Let me find the dies, the correct dies. These are the dies right here. And so they cut out all the little critters, but you've got some chicken wire, you've got a chicken coop, you've got corn, you've got a stump. So it's kind of a fun die set that will match the Hey Chick. And then they came out with Hey Birthday Chick, and that's a stamp set in our Jan to June mini. And that one looks like this. Okay. And I should go back. This was Hey Chick from way back in the day. That's Hey Chick. And now we also have Hey Birthday Chick, which was in the Jan to June mini. And now we also have a die set for Hey Birthday Chick. So the good news is everything can be gotten separately or together. When you buy them as a bundle, you save 10%. Or if you can buy each piece separately. So I put down in my supply list today, you will find the links to both the bundle and then the stamp set and the die separately. So just to help you out if you're looking for, maybe the Hey Chick dies, because you already have the Hey Chick stamp set, you'll have the clickable supply list. And you will find that supply list over on my blog. So you just need to click down below in the description of this video and there will be a link to the supply list for this project. I love this box because guess what? Easter's coming up. So, you know, you can dress this up however you want and make this into an Easter box. Mine says, "Hey Chick." So that would, you know, work for an Easter box as well. And you could put Happy Easter on the inside, or, you know, you can just make it, dress it up however you want. But it's a cool box. It's like an egg box. I'm also using the Flower and Field Designer Series paper, and that is on the edge of this box right here. So the great thing about the Flower and Field Designer Series paper, this is a celebration item that you can earn for free with a $50 order. So let's say you get the Hey Chick bundle or the Hey Birthday Chick bundle. You're going to be very close to getting to that $50 amount. You just have to maybe add like a roll of ribbon or a pack of cardstock onto your order, and then you're up to $50, and then you can earn this paper for free. And I have to say, of all the papers, this one is my favorite paper in the celebration catalog. I love the colors and the flowers. They just they're so pretty. And they have neutral patterns on the back side. So up here at the top, you'll see it's heavily floral, and then there's like a neutral pattern on the back. So, you know, even if you don't love super flower designs, there's also the neutral patterns, and those are all the colors down there that are found in the paper. So this is just a cool thing today to do. The other thing you could do, if you don't want to do a paper, you could make this piece out of cardstock as well. But it's really nice when you make it out of paper because it's got a pattern to it, and then you don't have to decorate the sides of the box, and you're done, you know, and then all you have to do is decorate the top. All right, I have done a lot of talking, haven't I? But it's we kind of need to talk about the Smoosh Box, and we kind of need to talk about the products on there anyway. So let's go now, and we're gonna jump right in and get started on the box. All right. Oh, I should mention, I've got a project sheet. Yes, I always have a project sheet for my Friday projects, and you can get that by subscribing to my email list. If you're not already on my email list, go ahead and subscribe, and on Saturday you will get that project sheet in your inbox, and that it will help you follow along and make these so much easier. You don't have to write anything down while I'm talking today, and you can just have those directions right there. All right, we need to start with our scoring board, and we're going to start by making the top half of the box. And I need to find my little scoring tool. Where did you go? Okay, I've got it now. So this piece measures 8.5 inches by 3 inches. And again, this is a piece of the Flower and Field Designer Series paper. I'm going to score on the back side of this paper because this pattern is so busy you won't see what I'm scoring. So I'm going to score right here, put the short side up at the top, and I'm going to score at the 1.5 inch mark. And then I'm going to turn this to the long side. Doesn't matter which long side it is because this is scored in half. Now, when we're scoring this, we're going to only score part way, just to the score line, okay? We're not going to score all the way through. So you're going to score at the 1 3/8 inch mark, just to here, the 4 inch mark, just to the middle, the 5 3/8 inch mark, just to the middle, and then the 8 inch mark, just to the middle, okay? All right, so I don't know if you can see these on here, maybe just a little bit. Here are my score lines on this side. Find the half, the long half, that doesn't have any score marks on it, okay? You need to identify that score side. So I'm gonna take this. This is gonna be my outside of my box, and the score lines are over on here. I'm going to curl the side that doesn't have any score lines on it. So just take it and just give it a little bit of a helper curl with your bone folder, okay? So we just want it to have like a bit of a curve to it because this is going to come together, and it's going to come together a lot more, it's going to come together a lot better if your cardstock has a curl to it. Okay, so now we're going to take our scissors and you're going to look at your score lines. I'm sorry, this is so hard to see. You know what? What I'm going to do, maybe I should have done this earlier, but I'm going to print off. Oh, you know what? I've got a piece that I used earlier. So okay, you can see this one a little better. Okay, so you can see my little score lines on there, hopefully. So on these little score lines, they form little segments. So find the smallest end segment. I'm going to take a pencil. Right now, I'm just going to do this so you can see it. Should have done this in advance. I didn't realize what color of cardstock I was going to be using for my project, and didn't realize that black was going to be really bad in terms of showing you how to do this. Okay, so this is a better idea of what this looks like, okay, with the score lines and everything like that. So I'm going to have, this piece is going to be oriented in the same way. So I'm going to cut away this little segment in the corner, like this. Okay, so it matches this one. And then I'm going to cut up along the score lines just until the first score intersection there. So about midway, the cardstock. Okay, so you can see I've cut along there, and those would be the score lines right there. And then I'm going to fold along these score lines as well. Okay. We still have the curve that we put in the cardstock at the top. All right, so now this little tab here on the side, put this away, I'm going to put Tombow on it. This one doesn't have a score line up at the top, but you can see where to put the Tombow, just in this top section right here. And I'm going to just put Tombow there, in that little tab. And then I'm going to bring the other long side together, and I'm going to line this up, and I'm going to know where to line it up exactly, because these two edges right here, they're going to be lined up, and you're going to just want to make sure that your piece is like straight up at the top. Okay, so here's the piece. You can see it's starting to come together, circular at the top. Then we're going to fold down one of the big flaps at the bottom. And I'm just going to put Tombow on that flap once I've folded it down. And then I'm going to bring in the other flap. And I'm just going to line them up and just kind of give them a little press down as best that I can. And then I'm going to bring these two guys in. Put a little Tombow here, a little Tombow here, and press down and press down. And there is the lid of my box, except it's missing on the top. We're going to stick in, or the bottom, or whatever this piece is on the rectangular side, we're going to put an oval on here. Okay, so I'm going to grab my machine, my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to cut two ovals. I wanted to show you how to do this really from start to finish. So here is my I'm going to take a piece, I'm taking the background color off of here, which is Just Jade, and I'm going to match it up with a Just Jade piece here. I'm going to use these layering ovals, and this is the second largest layering oval. And we're going to run this through here, and we're going to cut 2 ovals. I'm going to cut both of them right away, one for the top and one for the bottom, just to get it done. So here's my first one. They're both the same size, okay? So I'm not going up in size. The top and the bottom are the same size of oval. Okay. Whoop. Throwing things around here. Okay, set this aside for a moment. And then we're going to take this box bottom, or it's really going to be the top of the box, but this is the bottom of this part, okay? The flat part. And this is best done standing up. And you're just going to stand up and look down, and you want to see that this is centered on your oval. So there's going to be a corner in each point of the oval here, okay? And it should fit on there fairly nicely. Like the corners shouldn't be hanging off or anything, but there should be like a little bit of a lip on each side. So that is now the top of the box. Not too bad, right? In terms of having to create that oval, it looks pretty good. Okay, so next we're going to create the bottom of the box, and we do that almost in the exact same way, just slightly different measurements. So again, grab a piece of designer series paper. I like to use matching colors, so I'm using the same paper that I used for the top, I'm going to use for the bottom. So this piece measures, let me check my measurements, 8 inches by 2 3/4 inch. Okay. And then on the short side, we're going to score at the 1 3/8 inch mark all the way down. And then remember, we're only scoring halfway for these. So we're going to score at 1 1/4, 3 3/4, 5 inches, and 7 1/2. Okay. So again, we're going to identify the side on this long side, which one has the no score lines on it, because we don't want to smooth out our score lines. We want to curl on the place that doesn't have any score lines. So just give it a little curl. So, you know, my bone folder might be sticking out here, but I'm really only putting pressure to curl this part, the one side. So I'm not really straightening out my score lines. So that's what it looks like. Just give it a little bit of a curl. And then I'm going to bring this piece back in so I can help us identify everything. The diagram looks the same for the top and the bottom, just slightly different measurements. And again, we're going to cut away this little piece here. That's so hard to see with black. Generally, I don't choose black for videos because it's very hard to see things with black, but unfortunately, I didn't think about that. I wanted to choose a different pattern of paper so you could see that you could make this box with different patterns in that same series of paper, the Flower and Field Designer Series paper. So now I just cut along the score lines to the middle part, okay? And then we're going to fold up along the score lines here, okay? And then this should still have kind of that curved element to it. So you're going to identify this tab right here at the side and just put Tombow on it. Bring the other side together And we're going to kind of create this round piece, right? So when you're doing that, look for two things. You want these two pieces to kind of line up right here. You want a nice line up right here at the top. So, you know, just kind of make sure it looks good, and then just hold it down for a few seconds and you should be good. And then we'll flap down one of the big bottom flaps. Put some Tombow on it, and then bring in the other big flap right on top of it. Okay, line it up. And then put a little bit of Tombow on either side and bring in those little other flaps. Okay. And then press down on the bottom, make sure everything's nice and stable. And then we're going to add this to the bottom of the box here. If you have any questions about what I'm doing, please ask. And I'm going to come back to it later afterwards and make sure I get those answered for you. So I'm going to center this one on my oval. Again, I'm standing up. This is the other oval I cut earlier. And I'm just going to press down on here. And so this is going to bring together the two parts of the box. Okay? So they kind of, it's kind of a weird sort of closure that happens, but I love it. Absolutely love it. And it kind of has that nice rounded edge. So isn't that pretty to have that Just Jade? Now we have a Just Jade egg. This is like green eggs and ham, right? Okay, I thought it would be fun, since I did this one with Hey Chick, I'm going to do this egg with Hey Birthday Chick, just to change things up. So let's stamp this chicken that's eating the cupcake. All right. And I'm going to cut this piece just a little bit smaller so you don't have such a big scrap piece of paper. And then I'm going to cut two more things. I want to cut this guy out before I color him, just in case I make a mistake, because I hate doing all the work of coloring and then making a mistake with the cutting. All right, so I've got my die here, and I'm going to grab the die that cuts out this chick with the cupcake. I think this is just adorable. I love Hey Birthday Chick. Okay, I just want to make sure this is kind of centered on my die. That looks good. Place the plate carefully on top of it and roll this through. You can't see my handle off to the side, but I'm just cranking this through. And okay, I am just going to stop that. I'm having issues with my passport application. It got lost in the mail about 2 months ago. And that's why I was late this morning. I was on the phone with the post office again. And so that's probably another call from the post office, and I probably need to take it, but I am going to just let it go to voicemail for now so I can finish this video. Okay, so I've got this guy, and I want to do, yeah, I think I decided I was going to do a white background with yellow. Okay, I'm doing this slightly different than I did this one, okay, because I'm trying to decide how to do this. Okay, I'm going to, bring this back in again. You can tell I'm terrible at doing more than one thing. My brain can only function with one thing at a time. So for this oval die, I'm choosing the third largest scallop oval. And I'm going to run that through with a Whisper white piece. I hope I like this design. I kind of made a drop, and then I realized it didn't really match with my egg colors that I chose, so I kind of redesigned it in my head right before I got on here. So I hope this works. So a white oval, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of create a bottom for my oval, just like I did for here with the green grass. I'm just going to cut like a little section. This is Bumblebee cardstock here, and I'm going to take about, it's probably about a third or maybe a quarter of the oval down here. This one is actually going to go, instead of up and down, we're going to be making him like this. Okay, so the egg's going to be oriented differently. And I actually marked on my oval with a Sharpie how far I wanted to go up on my bottom piece. So let's see. So this is my little kind of anchor piece for the bottom. Okay. So I've got these pieces here, my ink pad, and I'm going to stamp down here the happy birthday that comes with the set with Hey Birthday Chick. So I'm just going to stamp it right about here. Okay, that was a little bit crooked. Maybe I'll do it again on the back side. Let's see if I can do just a little bit better. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, that's why, you know, sometimes when you cut things and you have two sides and it just works out a little better. Okay, so this will anchor down here. And now I'm going to take my little guy and I'm going to color him. So I've got some different colors. I'm going to start off with So Saffron Dark, and I'm going to just give his body a little color. It's So Saffron Dark is not very dark at all, but it's good to have some lighter blends. So I'm just going to come in and give his body just a little bit of a light yellow tinge to him. I'm going to come in with Pumpkin Pie Dark, wrong side, and I'm going to do the feet. Okay, oh, and the beak, and the flame on the candle. Okay, now I'm going to give this chicken some fun hair styling. So I've got my, I think this is Flirty Flamingo. Yeah, dark Flirty Flamingo. And I'm just going to highlight strands of this guy's hair and his tail feathers with that Flirty Flamingo. And then I'm going to add some blue highlights because that's how I kind of feel this morning, honestly. I woke up this morning and I haven't been sleeping very well. I've been preoccupied with my application that's missing in the mail with all my documents and social security number and all of that, and it's kind of driving me a little crazy. So not sleeping well, so I kind of feel like the chicken this morning is a little crazy. I'm gonna do Flirty Flamingo icing for my cupcake, and I'm gonna make the base kind of chocolatey with Crumb Cake Dark, like that. Okay, so I don't know if I love the happy birthday in yellow down at the bottom, but I'll show you the other one I did, and then we can decide which one we actually want to put on the top of my box. How's that? You know, I make some designs and I change them, and you know, there is a process to it. Oh, shoot. This needs to be more like this. Okay. All right, and then this one is gonna go on here. Like this. I wonder if I should have done the blue background. I just didn't think the blue and the green would match up very well. I had done that recently and it just didn't look very good. So I kind of, oh yeah, I kind of like this. This looks pretty good. Yeah. Okay, it's turning out better than I thought it would. So I've got him all colored. I've got happy birthday. I'm going to add some Tombow to here. And I did also want to add, a little bow onto here. And where are my mini glue dots? All right, they are around here. There they are. Okay, I've got a mini glue dot on here. I got a little bow that I tied earlier with the crinkled white seam binding. And I'm just gonna add this onto here, down on the bottom, just to give it a little bit of a fun little twist. So there is the finished box, and you can kind of see I took from here, I took the background color from the paper, which was just jade, and I used it for the top. And then I pulled colors from the flowers, like the pink, the flirty flamingo to the cupcake. And I could have done his hair green, but, or her, but I ended up doing blue. So here's the one that I did this morning, just as a, kind of to match this one here. If I was going to do a series of boxes with the same yellow background, but I wasn't sure how that would look. Actually, it doesn't look terrible. So if you wanted to do the same with the blue background, but I was a little worried that the blue and the green wouldn't look nice together, and I had a call from the post office and I couldn't test it out. I couldn't test out my theory, so I just went with it. So yeah, I mean, either one would look good, and that just kind of brings in the side. Like, I think, okay, here's my thoughts. I like this topper better because I like the blue background better, but I think this one might match better with my sides with the paper that I chose. So whatever you want to do. And then we also have the Hey Chick, which I did, this one I did a very similarly. You know, I took about 1/4 of the oval to cut this little green piece down here. I used a balmy blue oval in the background. You can see the little scallops right there. Okay. And the chicks here were colored with So Saffron and Pumpkin Pie. So, and then they were, of course, die cut out, and then the same type of bow. So you kind of get how that goes, and it's just like a cute little smoosh box. It has a really nice look to it, you know, when you open it up, and it looks pretty nifty on the outside too. And I don't think those were too terribly hard to make. They weren't done with a whole bunch of tabs or anything like that. So I hope you like that. All right, I'm coming back over. Hello, hello. Okay, I'm going to read your comments. And good morning, Pat and Christine. Christine says, smoosh away, Brenda. We love that the chickens are back, right? It's so awesome. Good morning, Janine and Birgit. Good morning, Fair Blue from Tennessee. And good morning, Nalita. Hello, hello. Okay, if you don't curl it enough or too much, won't that affect how it closes? So Pat, when you are curling it, I mean, especially with paper, it's pretty light paper, so you don't want to go too hard on it. But the curl is mainly to create that nice curved shape rather than letting the paper go the way it wants to. It just kind of helps bring it together. If you didn't curl it, it probably will still work. With the paper, because it's so light, it does bend nicely. But if you were doing this with cardstock, I would definitely say that you would need to give it a curl, you know, at least a little bit, like how much curl I showed you. The curl, it doesn't matter how much you curl it. If you curl it a lot or curl it less, the thing that's going to provide the shape of the box is the rectangle at the bottom. Okay, that's what's going to determine the finished shape up top. Okay, because even though it's curled, you know, you saw when I finished curling it and I brought it together, it was a circle. And when I finished it, it was an oval. So it's the bottom, the tabs that are folding in, that create the final shape. So if you curled it a lot, it would still be that shape. If you curled it less, it's still going to be the shape. The curling just kind of helps it. It's helping you tell the paper, you know, you're no longer going to be flat anymore. You're going to be curved. And for light paper, it probably doesn't matter, even if you curl it at all, because it will probably come together just fine. But with cardstock, when you start to bend it, sometimes it decides, I want to bend here more and I want to make a crinkle. And so by smoothing it out, by giving it that curl, you're telling it, I don't want you to bend anywhere I don't want it to bend. I want you to curl together to come in a rounded shape, rather than, you know, make a bend in a place that I don't want to bend. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. I'm glad that you love crystals and diamonds. I love that you like my box. Janine says she loves the crazy hair. That's how I felt this morning until I got here. I was dragging myself this morning. You know, little things tend to bring you down. You know, I know everyone's dealing with stuff. And one of the things that I really, really want to do is, as soon as I can, I want to go up to Canada and visit my mom. And I'm in the US right now, and I just became a US citizen, and I need now a US passport. You would think this would be simple, and you would think that, you know, I expedited my passport, and the passport should have been back in 4 to 6 weeks, and now we're on week 9, I think, or something like that, and the passport application is lost somewhere. It hasn't even reached the office yet. It's not even in their system yet. So it's very frustrating, and so I'm just trying to get all of that figured out now, and trying to trace it and all of that, and it's just been it's been a little bit stressful, because then you start to think, well, was it stolen? And if it was stolen, then, you know, all those other broader implications about, you know, you think about all the things that you put on your passport application, all the personal identification and all of that, and you think, whoa, you know. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about, but that's what's on my mind, and it's just kind of dragging me down. But when I get in front of the camera and I talk to you guys about stamping, I feel good again. And that's kind of why I will always say why crafting is good for our souls, because everyone, not just me, everyone has stuff going on, and I don't know what your stuff is, but there's stuff going on in your life that is probably dragging you down right now, and that's why we need an outlet. We need a happy outlet, and if paper crafting is your outlet, then yay, let's bring that, and let's play with paper and make ourselves happy, because it's not good to always be on the, like, worrying about other stuff, right? So anyway, that's just an aside. Thank you, Birgit. I am glad you think the boxes are really lovely. Birgit says, I do have the older oval framelits. Do you have measurements for the oval that I used? I can measure that up right now. Okay, so I use the second largest oval. So if you want to do an equivalent oval, let's have a look. So it's about 3 1/4. Okay, let me change my camera here. Okay, so I'm measuring it for you. It's about 3 1/4 inches at the widest part. And then about maybe about 2¼ inches. So let me just double check. 3¼ by 2¼ this one. Okay, so that would be the outside one. Okay, 3¼ by 2¼ so if you're looking for something that is equivalent to this one. I love these ones because, you know, then I can come in and do, you know, like that scallop oval on the center, so it's nice. And I'm planning on doing these in different sizes too, because I know people will want to do that. But today let's start off with one size, and then I'm going to figure out the other sizes as we go along, right? Okay. Pat says, because of 9/11 years ago, it took 3 months for me to get a passport, and I have lived in Arkansas almost all my life. Hold up your chin, my friend. Thank you. You know what? The problem is, like, they can't find my application. Like, it didn't make it to the passport office. It's somewhere in US Post, and I've done, like, inquiries up where the last time it was scanned was up in New Hampshire, and I actually called up there this week, and they're not backlogged anymore. So I don't know if it departed Nashua or if that's where it got lost, but because it's not up there anymore. They've processed everything that needs to be processed. There's no backlog. So my passport is lost with 2 others that were processed on the same day. We're all in separate envelopes and everything like that, and mine was in a priority envelope. So it's just so weird. It's like, yeah, it just disappeared off the face of the earth right now. And it's not in the passport system, and I don't know. I have a friend that put in a passport application around the same time as me, and it was not expedited, and hers is back already. So that's not good, right? So we'll see. Like, I mean, it could still be found, and I could be, like, you know, stressing over something that isn't even a problem. Okay, too much information, but that's what I'm thinking about today. All right, so don't forget to sign up for my email list so you can get my project sheet. If you're already on my email list, you'll get it on Saturday, no problem. If you love my videos, if you want to see my new ideas that come out of my brain, subscribe to my videos. Look for my little picture down in the corner. I'm usually, right now I think I'm wearing a pink shirt or something like that. If you click on that, that will take you to my subscribe page, and please subscribe to my channel. And then there's also a bell. If you click on the bell, you can decide how often you want to get notifications from me. Simple as that. Every month I have a new free with purchase tutorial that I send to people who place an order with me that month. You can choose that tutorial or any other tutorial you would like. This in January I did a Rolo's heart, and this month I'm working on the tutorial this weekend, and hopefully it will be released next week. But with every order, I've got like over 70 tutorials to choose from. Hershey's tutorials, boxes, Rolo's tutorials, things that make people smile tutorials. And they are free when you place an order. And then this month, I have, if you place an order with me, $75 or more, I'm going to send you a package of the butterfly gems in March. This is just half a package. I used the other half already, so you actually get more butterflies than are shown in here. But we have a new butterfly bundle coming up next month, so I wanted to, I thought butterflies would be a good, you know, thing to get next month along with that. And then don't forget, it's celebration. So for every $50 or $100 you spend, you can choose a celebration product, and that is always fun. And you can choose this Flower and Field designer series paper that I used today on the box as one of your items. That's for a $50 purchase. All right, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Look for my project sheet tomorrow, and I will be back on Tuesday on Facebook with my usual Casing Tuesday Live, and I'll be back here on Friday, next Friday, with another 3D or fancy fold tutorial for you. Until then, I hope you have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye.